directed by Stephen Gaghan. This film stars Robert Downey Jr. as Doolittle. And before I begin my review, I'd like for you guys to just hit the subscribe button, subscribe to my channel, get the reviews that you're going to get in each day and each week, only if you like everything you see. Until then, let's enjoy this journey. So Doolittle is all about a physician who discovers he has the ability to talk to animals, and Robert Downey Jr. plays this physician. Basically, something tragic happened to his past, therefore he lost his humanity. Basically lived in isolation with his few animal friends. Then this boy and this girl run across his mansion and just happen to break into his house, and then he decides to come back and take an adventure of a lifetime because he felt inspired. For this movie right here, Doolittle is a remake of the Doolittle, and also there was a movie that came out 30 years prior to that came out in 1967, was that Dr. Doolittle movie. And I haven't seen that classic 1967 version. Basically, they're taking this character of Doolittle and putting him into a new world, a fantasy-oriented world where dragons exist. But you know, I was going into the movie with an open mind, but for this movie right here, it didn't really work with me. But for the good things I want to talk about this movie, I had to say that the kids will enjoy this movie. Basically, you follow this character, Robert Downey Jr.'s character, and he's trying to discover more about himself and trying to connect with himself. For most of the scenes, you just get him talking to characters and grunting, and just making weird grunt noises and whispering. And the way Doolittle was interacting with these animals, it happened the same way. It almost felt like they had Robert Downey Jr. in an empty room just acting out all these scenes and just going over the script, and then the producers, you know, and the director tried to edit the animals around that scene that he was doing in that empty room. And that's how we got most of the scenes in this movie. That's where I felt like. It didn't really feel like Robert Downey Jr.'s character had a one-on-one connection with these artificial characters. But for the audience, it's supposed to make it seem like it's real life, like make it fluid. The fluidity wasn't really there. The good things about his performance was that children were acknowledging that he was Iron Man. Hey, Mommy, that's Iron Man, Mommy. At least the kids know who Iron Man is, so...
What else is there?
As for the bad! Okay, let's just get this over with, you know. Okay, for children that watches this movie, the children are going to enjoy themselves, but as for the parents that's taking these children to the movies, the movie needs to be able to captivate the audience, captivate the children, and also captivate the parent that takes the child to the movie. There's been times where I have seen movies and I have talking to parents and they didn't like the movie that they took in their child. For example, I met a woman at a grocery store who took her child to see the Emoji Movie. Child wanted to buy the Emoji Movie, and then she told that child, no, we're not buying that movie. So I happened to saw her do all that, and I asked her, you didn't like the Emoji Movie? And she was like, no, it's something I regret taking my child to ever go see. I'm like, okay, yes. But for me, I'm saying that yes, the children will like this movie, but if you are an adult, you will not like this movie. It is not interesting. It is actually boring. Times where I thought that there would be some interesting, you know, script development, you know, interesting plot revolving around characters, but there's really none of that. The film doesn't really have a good flair with its story. The story is pretty much a 1, 2, 3, an adventure that this character Doolittle takes. It's pretty much a cliche, and if you watch the trailer, you pretty much have an idea what the whole entire film is all about and what its film is trying to be. And there's times in this movie where the film makes some awkward, weird decisions. Like there is a scene in this movie where it revolves around a dragon, and the scene went places. It went to weird, obscure places where I thought it was a little bit suggestive. There's another awkward moment where there was someone died off screen, and the film had like an awkward pause for this thing didn't know what to do. Like, it didn't know what to do, whether or not if they should have this guy die or not. Will they let this guy live or let this guy die? And then you're just like, okay, whatever, fuck it. It's just really weird for them to go in these places for a PG film. The film itself has some bad CGI in this film. It's very noticeable. You will find at times like, cartoon character. There's times where I had to tell my brain, no, I'm not watching a cartoon. I'm actually watching a live action version of whatever, of a Disney film. It felt like a Disney film. The atmosphere. It wasn't a Disney film, but it's not. It's just not. The CGI for his animals and some of the characters is noticeable, but some of the CGI for his humans when they try and do stunts, like you kind of notice the stunt double, and you notice the CGI qualities. The film is kind of hard to get through. You kind of find yourself yawning, jarring, at the screen, wanting to leave the theater. I kind of was wishing or hoping when the movie was over. I wouldn't recommend this film to anyone. I wouldn't recommend it to kids. I wouldn't recommend spending money in theaters for it. But at least the kids know who Iron Man is. So I gotta give Doolittle back nipples. I didn't find anything interesting with his characters, didn't find interesting with the plot, didn't find nothing interesting with the script, wasn't funny at all. So that's my review of Doolittle. Have you seen Doolittle? What are your thoughts of Doolittle? And what is your favorite Doolittle movie? And I'll see you guys in the next review. And our next review I'm going to talk about is Bad Boys 3. Stay tuned for that. You have been warned. I think I just said that. Well, till then, ciao.